We're having changes to our firearms licensed firearms owners. The rewrite of the Arms Act will also include a raft of new offences and automatically disqualify gang members from holding a gun licence. What it doesn't include, however, is a scrapping of the gun registry or a broadening of access to military-style semi-automatic weapons, which acts could not get coalition agreement for. Nicole McKee is the Associate Minister of Justice and joins us this morning. Minister, good morning.
Good morning, Ryan.
What's up with the semi-automatics and the firearms registry? Couldn't get it across the line. Who said no?
Well, the firearms registry was actually sorted out quite a while ago. We went through a review, and when I did the rewrite, we had an agreement at the time of the review that I was not allowed to tinker with the registry in order to make any substantial changes there. However, there is one change that I have made to the registry in the Arms Act, and that is in regard to a section that allowed the regulator to be able to collect all sorts of information that was not pertinent to the registry itself. Now, under the new law, they will only be able to gather information that is pertinent to the registry.
Right.
To give you an example, I've been told that people were asked for their bank account numbers and their licence plate numbers, and that will no longer happen.
Okay, well, that sounds like a reasonable thing. What about the...
In regard to the MSS,
yes,
in regard to the MSSAs, I tried very hard on behalf of the sporting shooters to be able to have a controlled environment and a strict environment for MSSAs to be shot or used in competition on pistol ranges. And I fought very hard for that, but the reality is that the coalition government did not agree. Now, I had to weigh up, Ryan, do I die in a ditch over this and not get the over 50 policy changes, including the transfer of police out of the Firearms Safety Authority over this, or do I get the big deal done, which I believe I have, and perhaps look to work on some other changes into the future? I mean, that all depends on what reactions we get to this submission that we're putting up now.
Okay, that's fair. With the MSSAs, what was the arguments that you heard at the Cabinet table against you? Because the government and from memory, New Zealand First, both at the time, well, actually, no, I take that back. It wouldn't have been New Zealand First, but certainly National was talking about, you know, this is after the election, was there overreach with firearms after March 15? What was the pushback about?
I absolutely believe there was overreach after March 15, 2019, and it was an emotive reaction that wasn't based on data or on common sense, and that's what I produced to Cabinet as part of my argument. My personal feeling is that the emotion is still raw, and I can understand that, and that's why it was hard for me to get those particular policies across the line. But it was debated, and what I will say is ACT is the only party that stood against those reforms, that stood against the registry and stood against the banning of the MSSAs, and we continue to do so and be the only party to do so.
All right. Gun crime, going to get worse or going to get better under this government?
It is my expectation it's going to get better, and we're already seeing some slight changes there. Some of the rules that I'll be putting in place under the new Arms Act, including disqualifying gang members from being able to have licences, will mean that those that did have licences and fed firearms to illegally held people will stop eventually. If it does not, there will be prosecutions for those that are caught.
How many gang members?
At the moment,
yeah.
At the moment, my understanding is that there's one. When I came into Parliament in opposition, there were over 20. We have been systematically getting police, or I guess going after the regulator, continuously asking how many gang members had licences, and they were reducing over time. I want to make sure that that option is not available to any gang member on the national gangs list ever again.